Hey guys, this is Ashley, and I'm starting a new series that I am calling Amateur to Pro, where I want to improve my art skills because I'm depressed. So basically, I'm going to start off showing what I usually do for art. And this first one I've done since elementary school. I call it like a Starburst. I've had people call it fireworks, but it's basically a simple pattern where you just keep drawing these lines around a circle until the entire page is filled up. One thing that I always do with this pattern is I always draw it in rainbow order. I never stop. I've never done anything else besides a rainbow. And I've seen many people do different colors, but even ever since I was little, I was like, nope, it has to be in rainbow order. And to explain more why I decided to do this series is I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I decided that I wanted to sort of start a project that would distract myself from that while I'm working on getting myself better. And to do that, I thought I wanted to improve my art skills as a way to sort of start a hobby. And what's better than art? So here we go. From amateur artist to hopefully something that looks a bit more professional. I'm someone who has always been a doodler. Like, if I was in class, I would ultimately be doodling. If I had colored markers or anything colorful, I would make this pattern. And I want to improve my art skills while improving myself. And I'm sort of treating this sort of like a video diary in hopes to see not only an improvement in my art, but hopefully improvement in my video making skills. Currently, I am just using my phone with a $30 tripod that has my phone connected to it. And so that is my goal with this series. And this is about the point where I realized that I was about to skip a color on one of the circles and was about to just go straight over it and skip a color of the rainbow. I'm just watching this footage back. I was like, okay, there, I did it, but I almost skipped it. But interesting story. I work as a camp counselor, and last year I did a lot of the creativity free time, and I would do this, and I actually made it into a trend at my camp to the point where I had quite a few little girls sit down making these with me, and when I finished one, all of the little girls wanted it to take home. Now I am not doing arts and crafts as much. I'm more of check-in, check-out kind of person, but yeah, I've always really enjoyed doing this as like a relaxer, and I always liked the end product. And there's the finished product. I always add pink to my rainbow. I've always enjoyed adding pink. I always thought it was a forgotten color in the rainbow, but yep, that's the end product. And on to, okay, we're just gonna skip past that. Okay, so this next one I did more so when I was in college, when it was more frowned upon to have colored markers or crayons or colored pencils in the classroom. And I called this, it's just spirals. I would start with one big spiral and then would branch out to fill the entire paper. And But basically, I would do this during college classes because drawing in your notebook was less frowned upon than being on your phone, even though both ways you're not really paying attention, which honestly is something I've never understood, but we're going to get past that. So I would do these big spirals across most of the page, and I know they're not the most clean things, but I enjoyed doing them during classes. Usually I'd get one done like every class and a half to 2 classes. But once I finished the bigger spiral, I would start going on to smaller spirals to start filling out the rest of the page. That one's still a bit bigger, but what I mean is, like, in this small little part, I will do a little spiral and then tiny little itty-bitty spirals, or they're just basically circles, but you can't really tell. Still doing spirals, still doing them. Wondering why I chose this big of a sketchbook to do this, because it is taking forever and my legs are falling asleep. But it's finally beginning to get put together. I think at this point I was thinking I'm getting so close to being done, even though I still have a little bit more to do. But we're getting there. At this point, my hand was really beginning to cramp. Like, every single time I took my hand off the screen, I was stretching my hand out again because it was beginning to cramp, because I grip a pen with everything I have. But I'm looking forward to this series because I really do want to see if I can improve my art skills from just these rainbow starbursts and spirals and doing basic tracing of other people's art, which I used to do for crafts when we didn't have certain supplies at camp. But almost done, just that little corner, and we're finished. And this is the end product. You can see the bigger spirals, and then I try and get close and see that the little itty bitty spirals and the circles. And that is basically what I did the entirety of college during my classes when I should have been paying attention. And that is the extent of my artwork. Not the most creative, but it's time consuming. But for this, I want to bring out to the book that I want to use for this project, and that is Create This Book by Mariah Elizabeth. And of course, I also bought Create This Book too, but we're just gonna start with Create This Book because it's the first one. I look up to Mariah Elizabeth. I watch her videos every Friday. I really enjoy her videos. I love her sense of humor, and I've always wanted to buy this book, and why not do it when I'm trying to improve not only my artwork but myself as a person. And I am looking forward to this project and this video diary of my art skills. And I think I will be uploading this every Sunday until I finish not only Create This Book, but Create This Book 2. You don't have to subscribe, but if you want to, you can. That'll be extremely helpful. But this is just basically my video diary of my art and how I improve as a person. I think throughout the series, I want to tell stories of how my life is going and funny stories of my past. And I am looking forward to it. So, thank you. Bye.